bring in our guests. We'll shortly be joined by Mathew, also who's a social activist. But as of now, we have political analyst Gokul Chandran now joining us on the broadcast. What I'm essentially trying to understand is just imagine the plight of the students. This is an examination that has larger ramifications as far as their choices in the career and in the future are concerned. Once a student goes through a protocol like this, what is the mental state of the student to even go and perform well?
Yeah, good afternoon. See, right from this NEET exams were introduced, we were hearing many stories such what we heard today. I don't know exactly, I don't understand what is the need of so much of strictures and so much of strict compliances for writing a examination. I understand that NEET is a very important examination. It decides the future of the future doctors of our nation. Everything is fine, but then you need to find some other method to curb. If you feel that the students are cheating, then you have to find some other means, surveillance, vigilance, to make sure that they don't cheat. This is not the way how you can treat the students. It is very unfortunate. This is not a one-off incident. I have heard such stories from many centers across India, how the boys and girls are treated. They were asked to remove the clothes, remove the belts, and many such things which we can't even discuss in a TV show. So central government should come out with a clear policy of what needs to be done and what need not to be done. And handing over the examination duty to some agency. This agency is, I don't know who is deciding which agency will conduct these examinations across India. It should be uniform, and the policies and the mode of conduct of examination should be uniform across the nation. So it is better the government decides to hand it over to a single agency to conduct these examinations.
Gokul, I just request you to stay on with us. We're getting some other updates also now coming in. We're now understanding the police will record the statement of the student today. Neetu continues to be with us. Neetu, as you were saying, many families not very sure. Okay, we'll just try and reestablish that connection with Neetu. But as she was pointing out earlier, a lot of families not very sure of what they can do at this stage. But now we're understanding that the police, in fact, will record the statement of a student today. Now remember, as I pointed out, all of this in the backdrop of the row that we're continuing to see as far as what the girl students were asked to do before they entered the examination hall. I believe Neetu is now joining us on the phone line. Neetu, so earlier you were pointing out not many parents sure of what they can do at this point, but now we're understanding the cops will record the statement. Any more details that you're picking up in terms of, is this just one student or multiple students who have now decided to file this complaint?
See, what the Kollam Rural SP has said is that they have so far received only one complaint, and that too from this institute. Now, the women police constable is on her way to record the statement of this girl student. And based on the student's statement, there will be registering a case, is what we are understanding.
Okay, Neetu, thanks a lot for getting us all those details. So as Neetu was pointing out, the police will also record the statement of the student today. So far, they've only heard from one such student. I believe Mathew, a social activist, is also now joining us, and Gokul Chandran continues to be with us. Kevin, essentially what I'm trying to understand is this: how do you even justify a protocol or an inspection like this? I mean, today we are hearing from the college authorities that, this was all given to a private agency. Is it that convenient for the college authorities to completely shirk responsibility?
Ma'am, this is absolutely shocking, and even more shocking is the fact that this keeps repeating. Because, okay, I understand there are policies, there are like standard operating policies, then there are certain protocols in place, but then, this is appalling. Like, we have we have places where we need much more security. Like, we have places like airports, and even there,
True.
So there are ways people are worked out. This is some people being insensitive, some people, so such things. This is a lack of responsibility, in my honest opinion. That should be checked, and there's no way anybody can justify such a thing. See, our students, they are the future of our nation, and putting somebody through such things, that's absolutely unacceptable. So there is no justification here, in my opinion.
I'm also trying to understand, yes, you want to ensure that examinations, take place in a fair manner. You want to avoid cheating, but there have to be better mechanisms to ensure that. And as I was discussing with Gokul also, just try putting yourself in the place of those students. What is the mental state of a student who's just been asked to remove her innerwears and then go write the examination, which has other male student as well? The best of students who've had the best of practice and preparation would end up not doing well, and this is an examination that will chalk out the future for them.
I completely agree, ma'am. This is completely unacceptable, and there is no way, nothing can justify such an event that has happened. And what is more appalling is that something similar happened last year also.
True.
So, and this was not checked. So that is much more. And the people who are behind this, I mean, they are not even mature enough to, take this, and they should be definitely taken to task, because the kids are they are the future of our nation, and it's very important. See, nobody should be there should be people should be educated on such things, and whoever has done this today, whatever action has to be taken, because it shouldn't happen again. It's our collective responsibility. Everything else aside, it's our collective responsibility that our kids are not subject to such situations anymore.
Gokul,
So
Chandran, I'm also trying to understand, as my colleague Neetu was pointing out, many parents at this point, they're not very sure of what is the action that they can take. We're understanding that the police will record the statement of one such girl student, but what is the possible action that can be taken by families of these students?
Yeah, see, the question is against whom you are going to take action. I don't know which college this is. I didn't get the college name, but the college is nowhere responsibility. The college and college authorities are nowhere responsibilities for this act, because this NEET exams, JEE exams, and all these exams, when the exams are being conducted, they are only giving their space to write an exam. The exam is conducted by someone else. So exactly whom we are going to take action against?
This examination center was the Marthoma Institute of Technology. So you're essentially saying that this is like how an outsourced service works. The college authorities is just a designated center, but
that's it. They just give the building.
But the agency that was involved as far as this entire process was concerned, they possibly should be in the dock. Is that the point that you're making?
Exactly. But then, even then, you don't know how much what is the deal between the exam conducting agencies and this external agency. What was the contract between them? All this needs to be checked. And that's why I initially told the government should come out with a clear policy of conducting of these examinations, what needs to be done, what not to be done. All these things should be verified by the government, and it has to be passed clearly to whoever conducts this exam.
Ken, I want to understand, and I agree with partly with what Gokul is saying. This is not an exam that is restricted to just one part of a state or a country. This is a nationwide exam that we see in an exam that takes place every single year. So do you think it's the lack of clarity as far as these guidelines are concerned, and that is why we're seeing incidents like these repeat themselves?
Ma'am, I don't know. I am like in today's stage, it is lack of clarity, lack of guidelines. I don't know, but I think so NEET is being conducted by the National Testing Agency. So NTN, it is their responsibility to make sure that such things happen. Why do we have an agency like this who cannot give out clear guidelines and proper communication? So that is definitely the. I don't want to put in a blame game here or trying to attach a blame to anybody, but the conducting agency is definitely responsible. And if they are finding third-party vendors, third-party organizers, it is their responsibility to make sure that these protocols are passed on.